Just making sure this is going live real quick, because, you know, it was being kind of annoying. Looks like it did, though, so that's pretty cool. I am going to go ahead and lower my video preview down to 360p, and then restart my Genesis, which is down here somewhere, because I'm playing these games on original hardware, which is dumb of me, but I figured it was live. I wasn't making sure because YouTube thing was being kind of weird. I just got to reset my Genesis, which is, it's down here. Jeez, I like shook the whole damn thing. Not intentionally, but hi guys. We're gonna be playing Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 back to back. How exciting is that? Not very, because I wanted to do this last night when I was much more excited to do it. But hey Mason. Yeah. I thought I said hey. Maybe you meant like just starting the stream up. I always start my streams up with an intro. I just hadn't done it yet. But yeah, we're gonna be playing Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 back to back because they're each like an hour long, 2-hour stream. Seems good to me. But yeah, it's gonna be like all my other classic Sonic streams. I'm not really going for the emeralds or anything. I'm just sort of blindly playing. Well, not blindly, on account of the fact that I have eyes and I am using them to see. I did say hey to you, Mason. I said hey to you like 6 times. Don't need the Chaos Emerald. Just make Sonic look at it in shame. Yeah. I do love me some Sonic 1 and some Sonic 2. So these are 2 of my favorite Genesis games, if not my favorite Genesis games. I love this rock and how you jump weird on it. But, yeah, this is gonna be sort of like, the normal other Sonic streams. There'll just be like a couple, like, 20-second, like 1 20-second intermission or so. So I can swap out the cart. But, hey, Sin, what's up? And there goes Sonic. I was trying to run across. If you time it right, you can just run right across that whole thing, but I didn't time it right, apparently. And much like my last Sonic 1 stream, if I were to like game over in like Labyrinth Zone or whatever, I will just use cheat codes to get back. I'm not a very honorable man when I play video games. If I have to use cheat codes to continue, then I say that's just bad game design. It was a great death. Sonic died a happy, healthy death. It just means I'll have to get that one up in... Is it this level or the next level? And now I can just run across guaranteed. Because once you get to like the 3rd one, you can always just run across. But still. I should probably go for continue, actually. Just awkwardly jump back from off screen, which people don't seem to know you can do that. It does lock you to the right after every level. In this game and in Sonic 2, but if you jump at the right time, it's not actually going to force you off screen. You can jump during the trigger that sends Sonic off screen, and when you do that, I should have gone for more rings. I just instinctively go for the emerald. I don't even want the emerald. I guess I'll get the emerald. Hey, Shiny, how you doing? Does that mean Sonic's dead confirmed forever? Does he stay dead? The capsule glitch. I know about the one in Sonic 2 where you can make Supersonic dance in midair. Well, normal Sonic, but I don't know which glitch you're talking about, honestly. There's an invincibility right there if you want to make this level really, really easy, because by the time this one wears off, there's another one. It's pretty dumb. I was going to go for an extra life here. I probably should. Hence me jumping down to the bottom path to go get it. Assuming I'm in the right level. It might have been Act 2 that had the extra life, and if so... Oh, well, we won't really need it. By which I mean, worst case, I'll use cheats. I don't know what it is about this area, but my capture card hates it. Actually, I know exactly what it is. It's all the checkerboarding. Yeah, it's gonna be choppy, and that's just actually how it always is. Even on my Genesis, it gets like that. There it is. I knew it was in this level. Okay, I was just too low on the level path. Normally, I'd be like done with this level by now, but I really want to get an extra life, so we just got a boom. Cool. See, I like whenever I get something right the first time, so I don't look like a complete idiot. It happens like once every, I don't know, 21 years of my life. The implication that it's the first thing I've ever gotten right. Wouldn't be too far off either. Lower path is cool because you get to run into the wall and then go the wrong way. Yeah, do that. That's fun. I love this game. Not really. I like it. I don't know if I love Sonic 1. I do love Sonic 2, though. Apparently, it was not in Silver's theme in 06, Tales of an Absolution or whatever, is not intentionally a remix of this. It just happens to sound exactly the same. I like getting the invincibility for this fight. It makes it fun and fast. Oh, yeah, I've done that by accident before, Mason. I didn't know that was like a... I guess you can trigger anything on purpose. That's just an extension of the pushing glitch. I love the pushing glitch. It's one of my favorites, and I will show it off in Marble Zone. Sonic 2 is my favorite game on the Sega Genesis, so I will agree with that statement. It's fantastic. I love that game absolutely to death. It's like not my favorite game of all time, but it is honestly up there. Only thing is I like to try and classify like games that are my favorite a little bit. Like, I like to divide up between series. Because as it is, most of my top favorites would just be Mario, or it would just pretty much be Sonic, Mega Man, Zelda games. And Elder Scrolls, I guess, would be on the top still, but... Mario Kart Tour is out? Really? I didn't know that. I haven't seen anything about it. Are you sure it's out? I didn't see anything about it at all. Unless it like just got quietly released and that's why you're mentioning it. Which wouldn't really shock me because Nintendo's dumb and does stuff like that. I love the shield effect in this game, but it kind of loses its impact whenever you're like playing it in HD because it's clearly supposed to be like just a nice transparent effect, but instead it's dithering. And dithering looks dumb. But on the other hand, it has a charm to it. Look, you can make Sonic do the jumpy glitch here too. Yay. Okay, well, I got hurt. Poor Sonic. For some reason as a kid, the background like painting thing, like there on the left of the screen right now, always looked like Antoine to me, but it doesn't. It doesn't look anything like Antoine. I was very confused. Like, as a kid, I don't know why I thought that. I was convinced everything was going to be a reference to the Archie comics or Sad AM. Because I wasn't completely sure if they were, like, considered separate or if, like, Classic Sonic's universe was the Archie universe because I was a kid and I had to make my own assumptions on things. Eventually, I figured out no, and Mobius I figured out was garbage on my own. I was like, yeah, the other games are on Earth, so I'm going to say it's a translation error. It wasn't, but as a kid, I thought it was. Marble Zone's boring. Let's get another Chaos Emerald, why not? Just cause, especially since the stream's 8 minutes in and we're like gonna be done with the second zone in a couple minutes. Plus, this is a better special stage to get a continue, since there is a lot. Never mind, we're not getting anything because I immediately fucked it up. It would be a good one to get a continue because there are a lot of rings in it, but alas, it was not meant to be. Sword Art Online has a Switch game? That's not super surprising. There are a lot of Sword Art Online games. I don't really keep up with anime stuff because I don't really watch anime much. All my friends do. Well, not all of them. Just like 90% of them do. And I'm the weirdo who doesn't. Which is fine by me. I don't really care. Sonic's just falling off of everything today. And it's not my fault. Because I'm perfect at video games. I never make mistakes. So it's clearly Sonic's fault. All by himself. Lava, you want to come down? Thank you. Pretty sure if you just roll into this, it'll keep going. Yeah. Okay, it's actually a lot easier if you don't roll into it because it goes by faster. But still, it's neat that you can. Oh no, this lava flow is gonna kill Sonic. What are we gonna do? Other than wait like 15 minutes for the lava to get to us. I remember Marble Zone gave me a pretty hard time last time I streamed this game, and I'm not sure why, because it's not difficult, but you cannot try and take it fast. There are parts of it you can sort of speedrun a little bit, but for the most part, this whole thing is bad. I didn't know there was a spring there. I was too busy trying to read Mason's comment. You know, I did know that spring was there because in prototype versions, that spring extended really, really far for some reason. Sawyer's right. Sonic is very fast. Do I want the extra life? Yeah, might as well get it. I don't really get college dreams ever. Like, I guess probably before finals I might have had some, because, you know, it's on your mind and stuff, but generally I don't dream about school, period. I've had the occasional high school dream and stuff, but I don't really have college dreams, personally. I've never had a dream about being on a field trip to a helicopter mall on another continent. But, that would be dope, though. Unless you just mean you got there on the helicopters, but... Yeah, to the left there. There we go. High school's the worst and I hated it, but also college is lame. But I like it a lot more because at least I get to kind of learn things. That's much less interesting. I thought you were talking about some sort of crazy Avengers helicarrier. Well, I guess SHIELD helicarrier. You get my point. Some crazy, like, Marvel Universe helicarrier mall. That would have been dope. But now you're like, oh no, we just got there in helicopters, which is very inefficient because you don't travel cross-continental in a helicopter. That would be an enormous waste of fuel for no reason whenever planes exist. Yay, invincibility lets me skip boring part of level for like 2 seconds. Boring part of level is kind of the entire level because Marble Zone's bad. Sonic 1's weird, because it's like really good for the first couple minutes, and then it's really lame for like the next 20. But then it gets really good again. I do hate how the camera immediately pans up and down if you look up or down in this game. Because I really like making Sonic look up and down like this in time with music. It's fun. School is a maze to be terrifying. I already get lost at my college for no reason, because it's the school I go to. I used to go to like a multi-building like university, but then they didn't have the major I wanted, so I transferred to a community college just to, you know, I'm gonna transfer later to like a full-on university again. But for now, you know, community college is a lot cheaper since I pretty much have to start over a lot of stuff. But I didn't know there was anything even there. I thought that would be something secret, but it wasn't. It was just a disappointment. But I at my current school get not lost so much as confused all the time, because all it is two like it's a couple stories, but everything's just in like big squares, right? Like it's just squares and then offices. Like the hallways go in a big square around a central area of offices and restrooms, and the classrooms are all on the outskirts of the square. Right? Makes a lot of sense. Very simple layout. And no matter what, I get confused about where I am in said square. I get super lost all the time. It's super annoying. Sonic Adventure 1 might be my favorite Sonic game, by which I mean it is. So, you know, you're on a non-SA1 hating channel. You should know that. You watched me play the entire game. I don't know if you watched me, Sawyer, but I did play through the entire game on here. Well, there goes a life. I don't think SA1's hate is blind, necessarily. I think it's a mixture of accuracy, because the game has aged horribly, along with a little bit of bias against 3D Sonic, and a whole lot of playing the wrong versions of the game. Because it kind of gets worse with every release. Like it starts off super good with the Dreamcast version, and then it stays pretty decent for the GameCube version, but it is inferior to the Dreamcast version, honestly. And then from there, it goes downhill with every release. Like every time they put that game out on a new console, it's worse than the time before. And I don't even know how they managed to pull that off. But without fail, it's just worse every time. Yay, we made Sonic do the jumpy thing again. So, I kind of get why it's got sort of a mixed reputation. The blind hate is kind of ridiculous, but... I never understood, like, why people take forever on Big Story. You're not the only one, Shiny. It's a lot of people. If the SA1 remake happens, I'll be super pleased, but I don't think it's gonna happen, so I'm not holding my breath. I've never had the block run all the way to the right before, so what happens now? I guess I just make my way back and start over. Yeah, seems so. Okay. I think remake of SA1's better than SA3. Because people haven't played a competent version of SA1 in years because the version on Steam is garbage. When I play it, it's heavily modified. And well, SA2 is better in a lot of ways than SA1 as well, I guess. So people also seem to over-glorify that game, so when people finally play it, it's kind of disappointing. It's good, but it's not amazing. Yay, extra life again. But, I think an SA1 remake's a good idea. More so than an SA3, at least for now. Because, it'd be very cool to play a version of SA1 that wasn't a buggy, glitchy mess, which all of them are. Every version of SA1 is way glitchier than they have any right to be. It's just a fact of life with that game. It's its age, it's the engine it's running on, there's nothing they can do about it, other than make it from scratch. B, every port's worse, and they all control worse, and they all look weird, and every version after GameCube is kind of mixed. Even the GameCube version's not great, but it's good. It's good enough. It's what I played it on. But, I don't know. I would say that SA1 is... I mean, it's still my favorite Sonic game. So understand that I'm saying it from a place of love. The game does have a lot wrong with it. A lot more than people seem to want to admit. You gotta fix Big. You just gotta fix that whole thing. Amy's gameplay is a mess. Like, it's not terrible or anything. It's just really boring. What else? That's basically it. Other than that, polish out the glitches. It is a good game. It's just... This is water, by the way, not 2 sodas. I don't have a Diet Pepsi and this. This is water. But yeah, as much as I love SA1, I'm fully in favor of them remaking it because I think it needs it. Again, the game holds up really well depending on the version you're playing, but only like a third of it to half of it, depending on your perspective. I think that there's a lot that a remake would do, though. I think if they did, like, if it was me, I would do, like, an enhanced remake port of both games. SA2 doesn't even really need a remake, honestly. Most of its problems are, in my eyes, more due to actual design philosophy failures. Like, even if you fix the radar, the level design in the treasure hunting stages won't be any better. It's still bad. And even if you fix the, even if you tuned up the controls and made them not so stiff, the mechs are still going to be pretty boring to play as. At least I think so. The stuff that was good was good. The Sonic and Shadow levels in SA2 are really polished. Other than, like, whatever the Shadow version of Final Rush is called, I don't remember. That level sucks. But aside from that, all the speed levels are super polished and super well done. And the control doesn't feel as jittery and glitchy as SA1. So... I'd say that they're golden with SA2, as it is. Like, I don't think you're gonna get any better. SA1 has a lot more meat to it, I think, in terms of what you can do with a remake. I loves me some boost gameplay. I think the boost formula did a lot of good for the series and remains, when done right, every bit as fun as the adventure gameplay. I do think so. I think that Generations levels are on par with SA1s and SA2s. But, same with some of Unleashed's. When Unleashed is good, its highs are like some of the highest in the series. I think it's just easy to get wrong. I think Sega has a tendency to get stuff wrong. The mech stages of SA2, there are people who like them. I think that they're a step down from Gamma because I hate how they control. If you're going in a straight line, it's great. If you want to turn, it's like an actual war with the controls. I still have fun with them. I like most of them. There's some that I don't like, but for the most part, I enjoy the mech stages of SA2. I don't adore them, but I think they're fine. But fine isn't what I'm looking for in a game. I'm looking for good. So, I don't know. There's a lot of people who like them, though. You're not the only one, for sure. I personally probably hit more indifferent. I don't think I hate anything about SA1 or 2. Like, even the big stuff, it's like, whatever. It's done in 5 to... realistically, big shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes to, like, an hour tops. When you know what you're doing, it's like an hour of your life, maybe less. Same with Amy. Like, it's not like the levels take very long. It's just that you need to know what you're doing with big. As far as SA2's mech stages go, I don't like them. I think they're pretty boring, but I don't think they're terrible. I just think that they are weaker than the speed section and some of the treasure hunting levels. Though, I do think Eggman's levels are all pretty good. The only ones I don't like are some of Tails, because they feel shoehorned in and very uninteresting. I think the Tails levels, not just because Tails shouldn't be in a mech, blah, blah, blah. No, I mean, partially. I do feel that way, but it's not enough to make me say that a gameplay style is going to be bad, you know? My issues come entirely from the weaker gameplay, at least in my eyes. Or, not the gameplay, but the level design. I don't think it's super solid for the mech guys in SA2. It's not terrible, but I think it could have been better. Controls confused you for big. What's so confusing about big? You just gotta do the fishing rod. Tails' flight was infinite in the Chow Garden, yeah. He just hovered. I liked it. It was cool. When I was a kid, I used to, I'm gonna do a video on this eventually, but when I was a kid, I used to use my Action Replay on GameCube and just throw Eggman and Tails into regular levels, because Tails, I thought it was cool to finally play through, you know, City Escape or whatever as Tails, but to be fair, Sonic Adventure 2 is only 1/3 good. At least, if you're taking the gameplay styles as a complete package. I still think the overall experience is better than that, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend it to people, but I think a lot of what SA2 is getting these days is more fair than what SA1 is getting. I think in some ways, why did I die there? I hate Sonic collision detection. I never thought big was difficult. I don't know. The only thing that kind of can be annoying is getting his fishing rod to connect in the water. But even that, I never had an issue with. I know some people do, though. But, no, I think SA2 deserves more of the criticisms it gets than SA1. Because SA1's criticisms are, well, depending on which ones. I think the ones people are giving SA1 about the fact that the cutscenes are horrifying, fair enough. The fact that the controls are weird and Sonic falls through floors all the time, that's pretty bad. But the level design in SA1, I think, beats SA2 by a mile. And I think that the alternative gameplay styles of SA1 are more fun than SA2 due to better control. Because I do think SA1 controls better as a whole than SA2 does, for like across the board, but that certain characters got it worse. Sonic still controls incredibly well in SA2, even though I think he controlled a little better in SA1, but the fact that he could run in a straight line made it more sense for that level design style. But Sonic's controls feel like they were tweaked to fit different level design. Knuckles' controls, same. I think the controls of the mechs is actually awful. So that's mostly where I think I fall on that. SA1 is usually considered to be about 50% good, yeah, which, you know, I'm not going to disagree with. Again, the adventure games, I love them to death. Well, I would say that they're more than... SA1's unfair, I think. Because everyone gives it the old, it's only 50% good routine. Yeah, in the sense that 3 out of 6 gameplay styles are good. Here's the thing. First of all, Gamma's actually pretty fun. Second of all, even ignoring that, say Gamma sucks. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles collectively definitely have more levels than Gamma, Amy, and Big collectively. Sonic alone has 10 levels in that game. He has more than anyone else by double. So, yeah, no, it's definitely more. It's more like 2/3 good, whereas SA2 usually gets the 1/3 good treatment. Now, obviously, with SA2 being only a third good, you gotta break it down into, like, actual statistics of level count. Not all the treasure hunting stages are bad. Some of them are actually pretty good. Everyone likes Pumpkin Hill, even though it's not that good. I think Pro Jared had a lot of really solid points in that video. Plus I'm just a big Pro Jared fan. I mean, and this is coming from a guy who's a diehard adventure fanboy, right? I do love the adventure games more than a lot of people. I think that they're fantastic in so many ways. You know, to ignore the fact that SA2 has a ton wrong with it is ignoring the fact, to me that's every bit as bad as pretending that it's a terrible game, which I don't think it's a terrible game. I don't think it's a masterpiece either, though. And that applies to Adventure 1 as well. I think that both are fantastic for their time, but I do think it's important to consider age into a game's playability to an extent. But some things just age better than others, you know? I don't know. I mean, this is more just me arguing perspective than anything, because my opinions on those games are pretty much the same as yours. I love the adventure games. So it's not so much arguing if they're good or not, at least in terms of my personal enjoyability, because they absolutely both are. But the, I think they get too hard of a rap because right now it's the tradition. Sonic really had a rough transition into 3D, and it all started here with Sonic Adventure. Yeah, that gets old. I will agree with you there. But it became a cliche for a reason, because it came from some very legitimate, accurate reviews of these games. We're taking the slow, lower path because I screwed up the higher path. But we got invincibility that we can't use, so that's pretty cool. Actually, I might be able to use it, I don't know. Because the boss should be right up here, right? Unless this is only Act 2, I don't even know where I am. I don't think it was a rough start either, but that's just the tradition that people say that. Okay, Sonic, you can literally... He, like, shifted to the right there. That was really weird. But no, I really like... I think his video was well thought out, well written, and presented a good, objective viewpoint of the game. Because it is a flawed one. Like, SA2, as much as I love it, as much as I will always defend it, I mean, it was the first Sonic game I ever played. Not the first one I ever owned, and I don't consider it like my first Sonic game because I didn't own it and I didn't play it as much. But it was the first one I played. And, you know, I like it a lot. But I'm just not willing to ignore its faults. And I'm not saying that you are ignoring its faults, but I don't know. I think a lot of, if you're going to enjoy SA2, it comes down to how much you like the gameplay of the mechs and the treasure hunting, and I think both are good at times and bad at others. So, yeah, for my money, that Pro Jared video is actually a pretty accurate representation of SA2, speaking about it objectively, at least. As objectively as you can in a video game review, obviously, because subjectivity is going to be a major factor, but this boss always infuriated me. I'm really bad at it. Come down, please, Eggman. Thank you. I've beaten both adventure games and Heroes and 06 and Shadow and Unleashed, which are all basically Adventure 3 in some shape or form. So I've completed the whole trilogy, quote unquote, because that's obviously not really a trilogy, but still. Oh, good. We're on this level. Everyone's favorite. You know what I could do? I could beat Act 1, crash the game because it's funny, and then reset my Genesis and skip Labyrinth Zone. That'd be pretty cool, right? I definitely want to crash it. What do you guys think? Should I skip Labyrinth Zone? Other than Act 1? Because, I mean, this alone stretches the game out by, like, 20 minutes. So, I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll crash it and then reset my Genesis and just continue on from there. I can't decide when I'm gonna do an 06 stream. I think maybe like 150 subs. Like not even 100 subs, like 150. Like it's a ways off. Like probably not even this year maybe then, but I want to do it because I don't like 06, but I like playing Sonic Story a lot. I think Sonic Story in 06 is awesome. Not because it's good, not because the story is interesting, not because the cutscenes are good, not because the gameplay is fun, but because it's fascinating to look at such a mess of a game, you know? And I do like a lot of elements of 06, so... And yeah, I think I'm gonna just skip Labyrinth Zone other than this level, because does anyone actually like Labyrinth Zone? I like the music. And, I like the music. Barrow bots are cool. I don't know. I think the SA 1 and 2 being good games thing is a very interesting discussion because it's a yes and it's a no. It's opinion. So, you want to move their spear? Yay. I think Lewis from Brain Scratch Comms likes it, which I always thought was a baffling opinion. Silver can actually be beaten really easily, in a few different ways. If you know what you're doing, it's like one of the easiest parts of the game. If you don't know what you're doing, he's pretty much impossible. Yeah, I definitely game over to him. The worst thing about 06 is that everyone gets a game over on Wave Ocean the first time they play it. And then they all have to start over again. And it's always on the Mach Speed section. So it's a mess. It's such a bad thing. Hedgehogs are actually really good swimmers. Yeah. But Sonic's not. Did you guys know if you hold right and down at the end of any level in Labyrinth Zone, it crashes the game? Like this. If you hold down, it'll scroll the screen down and it'll crash on levels 1 and 2. It crashes. It's like, bye-bye, no Labyrinth Zone for you. And you know what I say to that? Cool. We don't even need you, Labyrinth Zone. Anytime you hold down, it'll do that because it doesn't like the screen panning down. I'm adjusting where my headphones are off my ear. I always keep one earphone off of the ear. That's way less comfortable. I'm gonna move it. Up, down, left, right, hold A, press start. Bam. Oh, crap. The levels are out of order. Skipping Labyrinth, so Starlight, right? Yeah. Why what? I don't remember what I said. This is a good level. I think if it didn't have the bomb enemies, it would be better. I hate the bomb enemies so much. We're going to have to go back and get that extra life because Okay, Sonic, go down here. Thank you. And then just go down here. Like a boss. And by like a boss, I mean playing the game the way it's intended to be played, like a normal human being does. I have a notification, but what is it? Why does it crash? I think it's Sonic. I think it's the screen panning down and loading the water and, like, end of level graphics at the same time. But I don't actually know. But that's my guess, because that would definitely be a sprite overload, I would think, on the Genesis. I can't see the Genesis liking that much. I got a notification on YouTube, but it won't let me see what it is. I know it's not a sub, because it would have shown up on screen, but what's it supposed to? Pretty sure that function works. I don't actually know. I'm gonna die from the fireballs, aren't I? Oh, no, I'm not, because I'm not terrible at video games. Well, I am, but I'm not that terrible. No, I want to take that path. Go up. Okay, thank you. Hi, Orbinaut. Bye, Orbinaut. But yeah, Starlight Zone's good. It has really good music, especially. Favorite Smash Brothers stage? Oh, God. Battlefield's pretty good. I'm a sucker for Temple. Temple's always pretty fun. What other ones do I really like? Most of them, Pac-Maze on 3DS is really good. You're right. Too bad it's in the 3DS version where my hands feel like they're gonna kill themselves. But, I do indeed love me some Pac-Maze. I like it better than Pac-Land for sure. I love Pac-Land as a game. It's just like, why Pac-Land? I mean, it's an odd choice because it's an influential game. It's every bit as important as the original Pac-Man in a lot of ways. It's Pac-Land. It's not a game that a ton of people have played. And then they re-released it on the Wii U to celebrate, but instead of doing like the really good TurboGrafx 16 version like they could have, they did the terrible NES version that's like borderline unplayable. So that was an odd choice. Pac-Land's a really cool game. I love the original arcade game. Like, it's not amazing and I'm really bad at it, but it's super neat, you know? I like 75M. Well, 75 meters, but I never hear anyone call it that. It's a good level, I think. Or maybe I'm just biased because I played a lot of the NES version of Donkey Kong as a kid. The Animal Crossing stages are all really good, actually. But no, I'd give a big shout out to Temple. Fountain of Dreams is pretty great. From Melee and Smash Ultimate. It's very nice in that game. I haven't played Ultimate since last time I streamed it. I should play it. Which I'll be streaming that again soon. I don't know when. Maybe tomorrow, depending how busy work is. That'll be a co-stream with my buddy, Tears Life, as it was last time. But that's something I haven't played in a while. Other than that, Dracula's Castle in Ultimate's really cool too. Wily's Castle without stage hazards is a favorite as well. I've never taken this path. Now I want to. So I have to jump up from here, I guess. Oh, but these platforms fall. What will I do? Have I unlocked Pac-Man? I don't think so. I don't remember. I haven't played the game in forever, so no, I haven't unlocked Pac-Man. But I think my friend was playing and lost to him, so chances are if I just played classic mode real quick, I could unlock him. Because he probably would show up next. Yeah, go ahead and put it in the chat. You're good, Mason. I missed the Wii Shop channel. It was a good thing. I think it was the best of the virtual consoles, honestly. They nailed it the first time around. Like, yeah, some of the save states and stuff are handy in the Wii U one. But the actual emulation quality never seemed as strong to me. Like, maybe I'm nuts and it's fine, because it wasn't bad on the Wii U or anything, but everything looked dark. At least on NES. Super Nintendo stuff was great. Yeah, we're getting the first Emerald again, because, screw Labyrinth Zone, right? Let's just through here, get the Emerald, why not? I don't think we did anything else in there. I didn't, like, benefit, really. But still, it's cool to get Chaos Emeralds. I like Chaos Emeralds because, they're shiny. And now Eggman will have one less, except I don't know if we're sitting through the credits or not, because we're jumping straight into Sonic 2 after this. Right now, I could do Sonic 3 as well, but A, I don't want this to be like a 6-hour stream. B, my Sonic 3 is very busy being stacked on top of a Sonic and Knuckles, which is on top of another Sonic and Knuckles. I will buy a third Sonic and Knuckles, and then I will have Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Knuckles and Knuckles. I died to make that joke. Sonic perished and lost his life for that comment, so I'd say it was worth it. Yeah, I thought Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Knuckles and Knuckles was pretty funny. Well, right now it's Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but... No, Sonic. Up the ramp. Up the ramp, Sonic. No, don't go down the ramp, you fool. Thank you. I want to play a Harry Potter video game. Those games are very, very strange. Some of them are great, actually, though. The early handful were fantastic Zelda clones. And then the later ones were very strange. And then they became, like, first-person shooters. Well, not first-person. They were third-person shooters for the last two. Not terrible or anything. Like, they were average, below average. I don't think any of the Harry Potter games were truly awful, except for Goblet of Fire. But, man, now I want to play a Harry Potter game. I own most of them. Only in the American box art of Sonic 3 is Knuckles hiding. He's just on the box art in the Japanese and European versions. I hate the European Sonic 3 box art, incidentally. I think it's hideous. I think Sonic 3 has good box art everywhere else, though. I love the Japanese classic Sonic boxes. They were super cool. Ugh, that was rough. It's called Slowdown. Nothing's funnier than Slowdown. Big spiky platform boy, easy peasy. You just gotta jump. I thought for sure I was gonna get hit, and I didn't. So I'm pretty... God damn it. And we went down very far. Ugh. Big old oof. Just ride the platform up slowly like a peasant. I played the GameCube SpongeBob games. Yeah, Battle for Bikini Bottom and the SpongeBob movie game. My Battle for Bikini Bottom is scratched beyond all recognition, but it was a very good game. And, what else? The movie game I have currently on PS2, technically, but that game is pretty good. I like Battle for Bikini Bottom better, if I recall, but it was still fun. The sneaking parts terrified me as a kid, too. My sister and I would fight over who had to play them in the old Harry Potter games, but I love the Harry Potter video games to this day. Launch me, oh Eggman. Thank you. What a great guy for launching things for his enemy to kill him with. He really is a generous doctor. Hippocratic oath did him good, and then he murdered me with a disgusting fucking spike ball of death. Cool. My hair's doing strange things behind my headphones. You see that? What is it doing? It's really annoying. Oh god, what the fuck? Get out of here, hair. Why are you doing these things? And like half it's caught on my headphones, which hurts. That's awesome. Hair is the best. You should absolutely all have some. Headphone, you okay? There you go. Jeez. Headphones are strange things. These are very expensive ones, which means that they are much less comfortable. See how that correlation makes sense? You get really nice ones that sound great, but they hurt. And if I, like, yeah, game overed here. So what we're gonna do, right, is skip to Scrap Brain because I don't care. And then we're gonna go on to Sonic 2 after we beat Final Zone and stuff, because I'm not bothering to repeat things. I remember what was the first of the 3D SpongeBob games? It was really bad. Something flying, Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, I want to say. It sucked. It was not a good game at all. It makes Sonic do some weird things down here. Don't really have any desire to, but you can get him stuck inside walls and stuff. But on GameCube, the only one I own is Battle for Bikini Bottom, but it's scratched beyond use, so I have to buy another copy eventually. I'm just holding out for a loose one because I have the case and manual, so I don't really care about like anything else with it. The only console, or the only handheld SpongeBob game I played was Super Sponge, which was not very good. That game sucked. I remember my one friend had it, he was like elementary school friend, and then not a friend in middle school, then kind of a friend in high school, and then pretty good friend in college. But he had it on PS1 because he was a PS1 kid growing up, which is unique because people didn't have PS1s when I grew up. It was a PS2 era, but he had Super Sponge. That game sucked at the time, and then I played it again, and it still sucked because a copy came in with a PS1 at work. So I needed to test the PS1. I was like, hey, I'm going to play a couple minutes of Super Sponge. I remember hating this game, and then, it sucks. Why am I dying here like a buffoon? I don't remember if the Super Sponge soundtrack was good or not, honestly. I haven't listened to it, like, on its own. And in the confines of the game, I was just frustrated trying to get him to jump up the stupid branch in Sandy's dome. I was like, why won't he go up? I got to summarize my entire experience with that game. The sprite animation was pretty decent, though. Yeah, for my money, Battle for Bikini Bottom was the best of the SpongeBob games. It might not be, but I sure remember it as such. Did I just game over within like the first 30 seconds of a level? I was up before like 10 a.m. for the first time in months today, so I'm gonna blame being tired, because I actually am tired. And I could just skip to Final Zone. Nah, that'd be obnoxious. I can beat the level. I can beat Scrap Brain like a normal person. I don't need to skip it. Once I start using cheat codes, I tend to just go all out with them, so that's kind of what the issue there was for me in terms of using them. All I know is that I did not like Super Sponge very much. That was a GBA game that got ported up to PS1, I think. I don't think it started as a PS1 game. Because as a kid, I was all about, I thought the PS1 was pretty dope because no one I knew had a PS1 except for like my one friend who I barely hung out with. Because when we did hang out, it was like lame and awkward because he wanted to do outdoorsy stuff and I wanted to play PS1 and with his magnetics or whatever they were called. And he was down for that and I was down for playing outside, but like it was like the wrong proportions. We didn't have the same exact thing in mind. But other than that, no one I knew had a PS1, so I didn't really get to play a ton of PS1 as a kid. Although I knew about Pac-Man World 1, which I knew was a PS1 exclusive until I found out about the GBA version, and a neighbor of mine had that, so I hung out with him just to play his Game Boy. Just like the only Game Boy game he had was Pac-Man World 1 for the GBA, which is not a very good game, but I didn't care at the time because it was a version of the first Pac-Man World that I could play, and it had butt bouncing and rev rolling and the same level design, so it was good enough for me. I still don't own the GBA version of Pac-Man World now I think about it, actually. I have the PS1 version, obviously. I don't have the GBA version. I could get it whenever. It's really cheap. And it's pretty good, for what it's worth. I actually really like the GBA version of that game. I like the GBA in general, so maybe it's just me being a little bit biased, but I didn't have fun. God damn it. I gotta wait for the stupid platforms to come back. Thank you, thank you. I didn't know that was on a timer. Okay. Well, I guess I'll wait for the platforms to come back. What's the point of having that on a timer? That's odd. Whatever. You see that sick timing? How I let the fire hit me as I was on the edge of the thing? Totally on purpose. Because I'm just that good at games. What I need to do, I want to get the handheld versions of the Pac-Man World games. I do have all of the console ones and the weird PC spin-offs that people don't talk about. Like, everyone talks about Pac-Man Adventures in Time because Nitro had made a video about it that was really good. But that game is dope. But I don't ever hear anyone talk about Pac-Man All-Stars or Ms. Pac-Man Quest for the Golden Maze, which is fine because those games are both absolute garbage, but they're still kind of part of the Pac-Man World series because they use the same logo and stuff. I just picked up Ghostly Adventures 2, so I might make a video on the Ghostly Adventures games because I remember really liking the first one when I played it like years ago. I remember thinking this is a decent platformer with a character I like, and then that was all I thought of it. I played through it once and I thought it was pretty cool. But it'd be neat to do like a video talking about those. Maybe it wouldn't be. I don't actually know. I want to talk about the Pac-Man World games. Oh, look at him go, look at him go, look at him go! But yeah, I loved, Alright, Night Mason. But yeah, I gotta get, the GBA versions of the first two World games, and Maze Madness. I know. I've never played Ms. Pac-Man Maze Madness. I do own it. I've never played it, not for a single minute. I played the GBA version a little bit, but I never actually played the real game, and I'm not sure why, because it looks awesome. I just never got around to it. I was gonna stream Pac-Man World that time, and then it was being laggy and gross, and then I got tired, so I didn't. I'm gonna do World 2 soon, actually, though. And I made a thumbnail for it, because I was gonna do it a while. I was like, I made a thumbnail so I would remember to do it eventually, and then I never did the stream for it. But I'm gonna do Pac-Man World 2, because I like that game a lot. But what the hell is my little sister screaming about? Anyway, I hate this part so much. I shouldn't have come down here for those rings. Yeah, he's not that hard, like, once you get used to him. It's just, it takes a while. That's the one part of that game I'm actually dreading. And, I mean, at worst case, I have a save file where I beat the game and I can just skip him. Because there's only... The only cutscene that I would miss out on, potentially, would be... None! There's no cutscenes in the game aside from the opening and then the one before Spooky, I guess. So, I don't want to do this level. This level's boring. Kill self, Sonic. Kill self. He did it. But yeah, I can't wait to do, I'm just gonna skip to Final Zone. Best place to farm lives in Pac-Man World is in... It's one of the levels in Bedouin Woods. Where you can basically just, we're just ending Sonic 1. I'm just gonna beat Robotnik and move on to Sonic 2, because I want to play that. That game's more fun. But you can really beat the shit out of, that game with, like, infinite lives, pretty much, because there's a place in, I want to say it's the second level of the Forest World, where, you can go down a hole, and no, nothing beats, whatever the fire-themed level of Bedouin Woods was called, the one where, I think it was the second level. It was either the second or third level, where, you basically can just go collect, like 5 lives, kill yourself, go collect 5 lives, kill yourself, go collect 5 lives, kill yourself. When in Avalanche Alley do you get to do that? I don't remember, like, a good farming spot in that level at all. I just like to bounce in front of the windy things, because Pac-Man will just go flying across the entire stage like a maniac, and it's funny. I actually can't wait to play World 2 on stream, though. I don't think it's going to do well in viewership at all, but you never know. It could be one of those things where I don't think anyone's going to watch it, and then it does super well. I don't know. My go-to spot for farming lives in World 2 is at one of the forest levels. It's great for it. Then again, World 2 is a lot easier than I remember it as a kid. I remember it being a pretty challenging game. It's still a challenging game. It's a difficult little platformer. But it's not half as hard as I remember it. Why is Eggman doing this to me? He's just not going where I need him to be. I mean, it's good strategy on his part, I guess, because he can wait out the timer this way. Look at him! Smug little fucker. But yeah, no, for me, the best places in World 2 for grinding is easily Butane Pain, I think? It's either Butane Pain or it might be the Buzzsaw level after that. I don't know. It's one of the two, and it is phenomenal for farming lives. Which was very handy to me as a kid, because World 2 is a very hard game for a child. Trying to decide if I'm going to do the GameCube version or the PS2 version. The PS2 version actually looks a little better. But then I have to play it with a PS3 controller, and I hate the PS3 controller. Whereas I really like the GameCube controller, but the GameCube version doesn't look quite as nice. And it also has slightly different sound effects for some reason. I don't know what the deal is with this different sound effects, but it does. It has different sound effects depending which version you play. How many hits do I even have on Eggman? He's been hiding in a corner the entire time. The player's choice version of the GameCube version came with Pac-Man vs. You mean? I have both GameCube versions because I'm a real man. Also because I had the game before it hit 1 million sales, and I have it after it hit 1 million sales because I wanted Pac-Man vs. as a kid, so I have 2 copies of Pac-Man World 2. 3 copies of Pac-Man World 2, technically. I need to get it on Xbox and PC. I don't actually have an original Xbox, which is why I don't own it yet, but I'm gonna get it. Hey Mark, how you doing tonight? Well, that's Sonic 1. I skipped everything because I got annoyed when I died. And we're gonna be skipping, but we're gonna cut out real quick so I can swap out the cartridge for Sonic 2, which is the better game, obviously. But now I gotta reach down all the way to my Genesis, pull out Sonic 1. Ugh. By the way, this is what my upscaler shows whenever there's no game inserted. Yeah, it's gross. So that's why I'm showing this. Sonic 2, let's go! Into the Genesis. On with the Genesis. Switch back quickly so that you guys see the Sega logo because it's cool. I like the Sega logo in this game. And then my thing gonna be delayed because it's terrible. Is it? I think so. Yeah, it is. Hang on, I'm gonna try resetting the Genesis and see if that speeds up OBS a little bit. Because it seems to get mad whenever it loses signal. Hold in the reset button, maybe? Please don't make me restart OBS midstream, or I can just look up here until it corrects itself. Hey, we're gonna do that. But yeah, Sonic 2. So, Sonic alone, because I'm not a loser. I don't play Sonic 2 like a child with Tails. Psh, who needs them? Sucks. I really don't like playing this game with Tails, honestly. This one's more annoying to cheat in, so I'll probably just beat it like a normal person. But yeah, no, resetting the thing actually, resetting the scene, reset the chat on screen, that's kind of weird. But, what we say? I don't dislike Tails as a character, I just hate having him as a follower. I don't like a follow character in my Sonic games. Depending on the situation, obviously. Sometimes I'm fine with it. In this game, he's really annoying because he screws up whenever you're counting out hits against Eggman in like certain carefully timed boss fights. I'm kind of trying to semi-farm lives right now. Because if we get a game over in this game, it's a lot more annoying to deal with. If I switch like this, did it catch it up? Let's try switching it for a second. I'm gonna try and get my capture card to line up with my TV. No? Okay. Well, that's tragic. Just means I'm gonna be looking at the wrong thing for a little bit. Because I keep trying to look at the correct screen, but I'm actually gonna be doing some more rewiring so that I have multiple switching outputs for my Elgato, so that it can either switch to the screen up there, the screen right in front of me where I'm looking at where the webcam is mounted, or the screen off to the right where I have OBS running. Well, I don't think I'll need it over there, but it's also annoying because if I want to plug in my my VR headset to play Beat Saber or whatever, I have to unplug my third monitor. So what I'm gonna end up doing is having that one on a Switch and the Elgato on a Switch. Two of the monitors are gonna be Switches basically, so it'll be a little bit different. Won't affect you guys at all, other than me not complaining about delays anymore. But it'll affect me pretty mildly, not that substantially at all. I like this fight because it's funny and easy. It's like the easiest fight ever. I want to get him to 7 hits, I think, so I can... Yeah, 7 hits? Yeah! Get him to 7 hits, he launches his drill at you. I just thought that was kind of cool. I don't know. It's not that cool, I guess, but it's something. It's an interesting factoid that a lot of people might not see because not everyone does that. Eventually, the Elgato is probably going to jitter and catch up, but it just does that sometimes. It's always whenever I'm switching inputs that it does that. Probably because it's not expecting the input to switch, so it's weird. It's only OBS that does it, though. The Elgato software itself never does. In any case, I stream through OBS, so that's kind of what matters more. Now I want to play Pac-Man World. I'm not going to, though. I have been loving my Pac-Man machine from Arcade 1-Up. That thing is super cool. Like, the joystick is kind of bad, I think, for Pac-Man. It's actually a pretty decent joystick. I've been hearing horror stories about those things. It's fine. It's a decent enough knockoff sandwich joystick. Thing is, it's a modern micro-switch joystick, whereas Pac-Man uses leaf switches in its original arcade joystick. Which means very little to most people, but it means a lot to me, because I know how Pac-Man joysticks are supposed to feel. What does this mean? It means I'm going to spend $20 on a replacement and swap it out, and then I'll never think about it again. So it's not exactly a deal breaker. The Arcade 1-Up Pac-Man machine, which eventually is going to be behind me, like where that, not where the tripod is, because the tripod's important, but you see the Donkey Kong Country VHS tape on that drum. That area there next to the closet door, like this gray area, will have a Pac-Man machine. And it'll be boring to everyone who isn't me, because you guys can't play it or anything, but I can. I don't know, it won't affect you guys if I'm playing it, because I won't play it on stream, but still, it'll be neat. Could leave it running in the background of a stream and completely mess up my white balance, though. That'd be cool. Not that the camera looks good anyway. Like, obviously the video quality's fine, and you can see all the grossness that is my face. But the, it's gonna obviously lack right now in lighting because I'm operating off of monitors for light mostly. I have it strategically laid out to provide me as much light as it can. But, in addition to that, I also have the, just the bedroom lights on to provide a light. Eventually, I'm gonna get like an actual lighting setup in here, but not just for this, but as well as for videos, because I don't want my videos to look terrible. So eventually it'll be a thing. I was gonna get an Elgato Cam Link just because, nah, I don't want to get a Chaos Emerald. I think about getting like 1 emerald, but who needs them? You know? The answer is Sonic does, but not my problem. Extra life. Sonic 2 is such a good game. This game is like nearly flawless, I think. I say I think, but I guess I should say I feel it's nearly flawless because, you know, obviously it's very subjective. There are gonna be people who hate Sonic 2. Those people are stupid and incorrect because this game is absolutely fantastic. See, in Mania, I would have died there because Mania has like the most sensitive crushing physics I've ever seen in a 2D platformer. They are ridiculous. Also, Sonic 2's been a curse on this channel. Like, when I stream it, it doesn't get views, which baffles me. Mania is always a pretty constant source of views. Like, it's a safe bet of a game. Weird stuff gets me views, like Heroes tends to, which I would not have expected. Gotta get the angle lined up here so that I can just jump out, because once the water floods this, you can just jump on out like this. Yay! If you miss the jump over, because I'm still trying to get the my monitor synced up, but they don't want to sync up, which is only mildly irritating. Like, it's not a big deal. If you jump at the end of that instead of just holding down, you can jump over the stupid little thing. And right now seems right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I love that. I love fucking with Eggman in this game with his boss fights. They're so easy. They're so incredibly easy, and it's hilarious. Ah, it's great. I can't decide. Is this game actually shorter than Sonic 1 since the acts are only... Like, there's only 2 acts per zone? It might be a shorter game, like, as a whole. I never actually thought about, like, the level length. But I think it may be. In which case... Okay, because the game's better too, but it's still interesting, I think. Gotta go this way and then jump up here, blah blah. I did an entire video or a little mini video ranting about it, but this effect here, where it's like lines of waterfall, is not how it's supposed to look at all. It's just that it's not meant to be played in this nice of resolution on a North American console, or on any console, because they expect you to use composite. Although I'm playing this with RGB, so it's not like it couldn't handle, like, that effect is still present in like a natively supported video format of the console, because these are HD Retrovision component cables, which use RGB out through a component adapter. So in Europe or Japan, it could have looked this nice for anyone. So, you know, I don't know. Although I guess on a CRT, it still would have blended the colors better on account of it being on a CRT. So maybe my point's invalid anyway. I don't know. Either way, I know it wouldn't look this nice. Previously, there would be this horrible flicker going up the screen. Because up until like this week, I wasn't using a name brand Sega Genesis power adapter. When I bought my Genesis set, an off-brand adapter. I bought it at work because we had Genesis on sale for $15. I was like, I may as well buy one. And then I got my HD Retrovision cables and this upscaler, so you know, it worked out in the long run. My Genesis stuff, it plays a lot nicer than my Retron 5, and it looks just as good in my opinion. A little less good on recording and streams than it does in person, but it doesn't really matter because it still looks phenomenal. But god damn, all these bowls. Thank you. I don't know why Sonic gets slippery underwater. That's kind of weird. But on Genesis, I get a ton, or on not on Genesis, but on Retro on 5, I get a ton of audio lag with Genesis games. But anyway, as I was about to say, the I love this boss fight coming up. It's really funny. But the cables that I had with it originally, when I bought my Genesis, I bought them with the intention of buying HD Retrovision cables in the subscaler. So I was pretty much indifferent towards everything other than making sure that my Genesis worked, that I got a 6-button controller with it, which I did, because I had a Genesis controller, but it's a 3-button. I didn't like them. But then I ended up getting an off-brand power adapter with it, and composite cables, but I didn't care about the composite cables, because, you know, it's not what I use for the console output, so it looks fine, because I ignore those. But I didn't realize that the off-brand power adapter caused a bunch of flickering because it wasn't drawing enough power, so I ended up having to buy an actual Sega Genesis power adapter. They just let me swap out the one I got, because even though we have a warranty and stuff, and I'm supposed to act within the warranty, I'm an employee, so they still didn't. I just got the wire. But still, I was like, dang, that's terrible. Name brand only from now on, please, for power adapters. It was the first time I ever used an off-brand power adapter for, like, a classic console. So I didn't realize it was going to be a problem, but it definitely was. A very, very mild one that wouldn't even be relevant on a CRT, but it was on a flat screen with RGB output, and well, wouldn't you look at that, we're playing it on a flat screen with RGB output on several flat screens. Well, it's only outputting to 1, but the Elgato's hooked up to 2. Soon it's going to be hooked up to 3 screens, because I'm a madman who does things like that. Things like using 3 monitors and feeling like a rebel because 3 is more than the average of 2 that most people seem to use. One thing I will say, once you go to a multi-monitor setup, it's really hard to go back. I didn't really care that much. I knew I had to use multi-monitor for editing, and I knew it was a lot more pleasant. So that was the main thing that I was going for whenever I got my current desk setup. And then I got a 3rd monitor for streaming. It's not a monitor, it's a TV, but that's a better thing for me because it's a little easier for consoles to look up. It looks a little nicer with consoles, I mean, because the flaws and blemishes aren't as apparent as with a nice monitor. Also, the TV was free, and I just had to buy a $15 to $20 monitor stand for it. But anyway, I love having 3 monitors. I cannot go back to having less than this. I mean, I can deal with 2. I can deal with 1, obviously. I do it all the time, but like, I know people who stream with 1 monitor, and I'm baffled by that. And even like editing videos, even doing online classes, being able to have my textbook open on 1 screen, have YouTube running with a video or music or podcast or whatever in another screen, and then have my actual work on a screen or my notes or whatever. Like, I don't know how I coped in the past before having a bajillion screens surrounding me all the time. I used to just use multiple devices, but it's so much easier to just multitask it all on my PC. Just throw my monitor over there if I'm controlling a music thing, or just throw, or not my monitor. Don't throw my monitor. I meant throw my mouse cursor. I'm already getting tired. I've never seen this path before in my life. Huh. How did I never know this was here? What the fuck? That's okay. This is why I love classic Sonic, right? The modern games are great. You're not finding completely new stuff in Sonic Adventure, at least not on this scale. You might find some minor new thing, but you're not discovering an entire path you missed out on. Okay, I think I've seen all this has to offer. I haven't, because it exits out here. Huh, that was super neat. I never knew any of that was there. Huh. That was great. That was the coolest shit. Man, poor OBS is so close to catching up with the actual like TV. It's sad. Poor thing. Well, poor me, because it means I have to look up there and crane my neck a little bit. It's a really comfortable position, but if I want to be in the right spot for the webcam, it's not so comfortable. The way this TV is set up is meant for me to just be able to crane my head up for quick reference, or to just relax back like this, but I can't do that obviously because then I'm too far from the mic. So, don't work super well. I need to get a few things still though. I need to buy a very small XLR cable for this mic preamp. Because it's not a permanent part of my setup, this mic preamp. It's only used in streams. And it'll be used during recording face cam as well. But anything that involves like a face cam setup, it's part of my setup. But if I'm just recording my voice, if I'm just streaming my voice, I'll still use this. Because it gives me a lot more leeway with where I can be. Because it makes my volume louder. That's what a preamp does. You can't see it, but on the bottom of my mic, I'll show it. There's this big vape-looking thing right here. That's my mic preamp. So that's super important. I didn't used to have one, and my mic had to be really loud, and it would almost clip all the time. In fact, it did clip all the time. And I just had to learn how to talk at the right frequency. Now I have a lot more leeway with how I can look and what I can do, so it's obviously preferable to have it, because my mic gain's like less than half of what it used to be. Hey, look, it's that level that everyone else seems to like, but me. I died. I always die there. Anyway, I do like this track, though. It's pretty good. But, what was I saying? It was something important. Which, I mean, it wasn't important at all. Something about upgrading my setup. Oh, yeah, it's the mic preamp. I need to get a little XLR cable, because I don't like having it dangle from the bottom of my mic. I want to just have it sitting on my desk. So we need, like, a 2-foot, really nice XLR cable, because I don't need a long one. But it needs to be a very nice one, since it's acting as a direct connection between devices. So I'm probably going to end up spending, like, 15-20 bucks on a 2-foot cable, which is pretty ridiculous. Considering this cable here was 10 bucks for the whole thing, and it's like a 10-foot long one, but it's worth it to ensure good audio quality. Since it's acting as a communication between a device that's already a middleman. So, it'll be important in the long run. And the reason I won't use it by default is because it actually adds quite a lot of background hiss. Not important during a stream. I don't care if I have a little background hiss during a stream. I do care if I have background hiss during a video, during a voiceover segment. Even during a face cam part, it's not as significant because I can edit out a lot of it, but I cannot edit out all of it. And I feel like audio standards are a little lower if I'm talking at a distance. So, it's whatever, obviously. Lava, you want to go back down? Thank you. Probably shouldn't have skipped the checkpoint. Ah, it didn't matter. Why is there a checkpoint there? That's weird. I guess just to get you a Chaos Emerald. Which would make a lot of sense, but still kind of odd. You ever drink water and think there was something solid in it, but then realize there wasn't and you're just nuts? Then you kind of feel like you swallowed a fly or something even though you didn't. That just happened with me. I'm like, oh, I hate that. So after this stream is over, I'm going to go to sleep. I have to wake up early tomorrow. There's an ice storm, so I have an early ride to work. Because I don't drive because I'm an imbecile. And then, after that, I have to go to my other job because I work 2 shifts tomorrow because I'm cool. Yay. Should still be 2 videos coming out this month. I haven't gotten around to either of them yet, but I've got time. At least for one of them. Whichever one I get done first will go up. I'm sort of working on a bunch of projects at the same time. 1 video a month is still the goal for LyingTuna, and I do not plan on breaking that goal. So, it'll happen, but I just had some complications with jobs and school. Well, not complications so much as just life to deal with, but I'll have a little less to deal with soon. So it'll make things a lot easier for me. So much easier to just jump down here and save yourself the hassle of jumping from, not zip line, but from ski lift to ski lift, I guess? I don't even know what those things are supposed to be. I didn't want to deal with them, so I just fucking didn't. Now we're on a boss fight. Is it a very difficult boss fight? Well, no. It's one of the easiest if you do it like that. I I always try and take that same approach of like infinite bouncing on some of the Master System game bosses, but their collision detection operates very, very differently in the sense that it barely operates and you'll go through Eggman all the time. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's invincibility frames for him as well as for you. It's just, I don't like that at all. I much prefer to not have enemy invincibility frames. Hey, it's Mystic Cave Zone, which is a very cool looking level. But one that I feel like everyone forgets about. I certainly forget about it all the time. Every time I see it, I get excited. So I like the looks and the music. But I remember it for its multiplayer mode that I do more for its single player. Like, I never thought this level was interesting. It's not bad at all, but it is the least interesting shit I've ever played. That's very much an exaggeration. I just don't think it's an amazing level. I think it looks good, but I don't know. Whenever you have a Genesis outputting stereo, which I have a Model 1, right? So by default, it outputs mono, but if you use the headphone jack on the front, you can output stereo. And my cables have a an aux input, so I can output stereo through the headphone jack into the cables and just feed it in. It's a lovely set of cables. I love the HD Retrovision Genesis cables. If you have a compatible device that can use them and you want to drop some cash on very nice looking Genesis gameplay, they're super worth it. Obviously, you can see it on screen. But the ability to have my Genesis sound as good as it does is awesome, because I think those are actually the best. The high definition graphics Genesises aren't just the best looking, but they seem to sound the best too, at least from my experience. I love how they sound. So, I don't know. It's an interesting thing at the very least. I always forget how quickly levels go by in this game. It's only been like 20 minutes of Sonic 2. Maybe a little less? Nah, about 20 minutes looking at the timer. Yeah, this is one of my favorite games of all time. This is my favorite game on the Genesis. I got Rocket Knight Adventures recently. I'm very excited to play that. That game just seems fascinating. I don't know why it's relevant. It looks so good, and I've never played it. And I like playing things I have not played that I've always wanted to play. And that is a game I've always thought about playing. Rocket Knight always looked really good to me. I just never got around to it because I didn't own it, but now I do. So I guess I'll play it. There are a few other Genesis games I want to play really badly that I do own as well. That's kind of the big one. I got this one. This is the one only hook in the game where Sonic won't jump off of it. Oh, he did. I know there's one where he won't jump off of it and he'll just fall off. I thought it was that one, but maybe I'm wrong. On account of the fact that he just jumped off it, or I don't know. I know I'm right. I just don't know which one it is. I remember I was not babysitting, but like I was a kid and like I was watching over the younger, like my parents' friends' younger kids. Parents' friends / my sister's friends' little siblings. It's, like everyone was friends but me. But I liked them, but I just wasn't the only one who wasn't like personally tied to anyone. But they had a Genesis Model 2 specifically. I remember that. Not that that matters, but they had a Genesis and they had this game, and they could not beat Mystic Cave Zone, and I like beat the shit out of this level for them. And they were like, "Wow." They didn't really care, but I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm so cool. I can beat Mystic Cave Zone in Sonic 2. I can beat all of Sonic 2. I'm so good at video games." They weren't as impressed as I was with myself, but they did ask me to beat it, and I did. They, you know, they had their Genesis on for a couple days. They're like, "I can't beat this level in Sonic 2." And I was like, "Gimme, gimme, gimme." Oh, good. It's the bad level. My favorite. Yeah, I felt like such a badass, which was completely unwarranted considering the fact that I wasn't. It was in fact quite the opposite. Unless you count being able to beat Sonic levels at the age of like 10 or 11 to be cool, which, I mean, I guess it's better than, I don't know. That was a weird age for me. I'm trying to remember if I was even doing anything interesting when I was that age. Probably when I played saxophone, because I've been bouncing between instruments for like my entire life. I'm buying a piano, or like an electric piano, like an 88 key keyboard, probably this weekend, because I really want a piano. Aside from that, I'm also a drummer, hence the drum stuff behind me. You can see it's the Donkey Kong Country VHS tape off to my, well, yeah, it's off to my left, but it'd be to the right of the webcam. Anyway, it would be, that'd be sitting on a pile of practice pads because my drum set is a broken electric drum set. I can't play it. It's broken, and I didn't have room for it in here anymore because I put this desk and monitors in here because I prioritized streaming for a while. Still do, obviously. But that was, when I was readjusting my room setup to have a designated computer area. And, because previously my desktop was just connected to my main TV and sat on my floor. I used a wireless mouse and keyboard, and it was totally a functional setup. But, this is clearly the better setup. And, I was always playing my drum set, but it was a cheap drum set. It was like an Elise's DM7X session kit or something. I know it was an Elise's DM7X. I don't remember. I think it was the session kit, but it was garbage. I mean, I liked the drum module for how cheap it was, and it got me started on drum set, so I appreciated it. I very narrowly did not die there. That was awesome. But, yeah, the cheap Medeli made pads were all garbage, and most of them are broken. And the cymbals were useless. They were just pieces of plastic. So you could do a crash with correct technique by, you know, hitting the bow of the cymbal, hitting the edge of the cymbal with the shaft of the stick, but you weren't getting very convincing technique other than that. Well, maybe like rides, like ding da da ding da da ding da ding da da ding. You could do that pretty convincingly well on the bow of the cymbal, but the bow and the edge made the same sound, and it was velocity based, so to get a bell sound you just hit it really hard. It was an odd setup. I did not like the cymbals at all on that thing. And yeah, we beat Act 1. And it broke mostly. So that's in the basement. And when I move out of here, because I live with my parents, because why not? It's cheaper than getting an apartment while I'm in college. But when I move out, the first thing I'm doing is buying a new drum set. But in the meantime, I want to learn a new instrument. So I was like, what will I learn? I guess I'll buy a piano. So I'm doing that. Probably, at least. And, I don't know how it was relevant. I just know I like... Oh, yeah, I was saying, because at the time I played saxophone. Because I've been bouncing between instruments for years. And not like in a I mastered these instruments and learned new ones. No, it was in a I got bored of them when I was like halfway to being decent and bailed. So I was a sax player in 5th and 6th grade. But I got bored of saxophone. And winds in general just didn't super interest me at the time. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna not play music for a while. Well, that's not what happened at all. Actually, I picked up the cello during my middle school and part of my freshman year of high school. It was like 2 or 3 years I played the cello, and I was pretty decent. I started to get a really good grasp of the instrument, and then I was like, all right, because we were taught, it was like a school string ensemble, so it was, you know, they taught us the finger. I was the only cello player, so I didn't get as bad as the violinist did, but it was like, or it wasn't, yeah, I was the only cellist. It was a cellist and a bass player. And we were the lower octaves. And, you know, that was fun. But, you know, it was mostly taught not so much about music theory and learning how to play the instrument and learning the instrument, but just rote memorization of specific songs. Which infuriated me, because I was like, I can read music, but I don't know where the notes are in here very well. And she was like, well, too bad. I mean, I kind of learned. Well, I've picked up a cello now. Could I play anything? Maybe some stuff from just straight memorization, but I couldn't do any actual, like, sight reading. And then I picked up percussion because I joined marching band thinking I was just doing it as a favor to the band director because I knew him. But I ended up... I mean, I knew him because I was in band previously. I was in concert band and I joined marching band. And I was like, only if I can do percussion. And, yeah. And he was like, okay. And then I became a drummer. And that actually, I died. That's weird. But that actually stuck. So that's how I became a drummer. All thanks to the magic of marching band. By magic, I mean, you know, it was fun. I really liked it. But it was like also the most exhausting thing I ever did with my life. In a mostly positive way. I learned a lot about music in high school. I think high school expanded me as a musician more than anything else. I'm not like a great musician or anything, you know? I have very little formal training. Like, I can count all of my actual lessons that I consider to have been like real instructive, like personalized lessons. I can count them on my hands. So, you know, it's not like an incredible thing, but I did learn a good bit about music in general, and now I'm gonna learn piano, and then I'm gonna play it, I guess, because that's what you do with an instrument. Or you can just have it and be like, yeah, I play, and then you never actually play, and then you like get asked to at a party or something, and you're really awkward because you can't. I love whenever people do stupid things like that. I don't know why I think that's so funny, because they are always embarrassed, actually. That's why I think it's so funny. Nothing annoys me more than... Actually, the thing that annoys me most are people who play instruments and are really obnoxious to those who are trying to learn. I see that all the time, and I'll never understand it. Like, why treat your love of music as if it's some sort of exclusive club? Okay, we got him 6 times. Cool. And that's always what baffled me most. And it's never, like, music students or anything. It's always, like, kids in high school who end up not doing music. But, you know, they're musically talented. They're usually pretty great musicians. But then they're such assholes about it that it's like, okay, well, I don't respect you as a musician because you make me angry. And you're obnoxious. And half the time, I was better than some of those people. Actually, a lot of those people. Which is kind of why they were obnoxious to me. Because I was never particularly pretentious about music. Because I'm not an amazing musician or anything. It's super amateur. It's super casual, purely for fun. Never went competitive with it beyond high school stuff, you know? Metropolis Zone's a good level. Also, we're at Metropolis Zone in like half an hour, so that's pretty funny. What's up here to the left? Is it rings? It is indeed, and an Astron, which is annoying, but meh. I need to have stuff that stimulates my brain, though. That's the thing. I mean, in college, which does, kind of, except for the fact that it's stupid community college classes right now. I'm not knocking community college. I'm in it. But, I am knocking some of the classes that are just, like, required intro to being educated classes. And I'm like, okay, but I transferred here from university. So, I know what I'm doing. I just changed my major and they didn't have what I wanted to study. And this is cheaper than just a direct transfer. So, that's pretty much how that boiled down. I mean, there are more factors than just that. Because I'll have to move away whenever I go for my actual degree. And I'm hoping to use an associate's degree to get a job that will help me pay off the rest. Due to how much time is lost from switching majors and switching colleges and losing a lot of credits. Because I went from education to IT. The two have nothing to do with each other. So, the amount of progress that's lost is pretty substantial. But, on the other hand, God, this is a long fucking screw to run up, Sonic. But on the other hand, like, I don't know, I hate the pandering beginning education classes at colleges. They're frustrating. Like, health and wellness type classes are super damn annoying, and I think unnecessary, because college kids are gonna be unhealthy. So it's a fact of life. Does Sonic have legs during this animation, or just feet? I never actually looked. Can't really see because he's on the nut. Well, we're going back down anyway, I think. Oh, never mind. We are saved. Thank goodness. I'd have been angry. I hate the spear blocks in this level. They always screw with me really badly. I'm very bad at them. I want to go down here? Well, I can't really check without going down here. I may as well look. I hate Metropolis Zone. Oh, nope. I did have to go down here. Then again, I think everyone hates Metropolis Zone a little bit. I do like the music. But, like, I think 2 acts is such a perfect length for a Sonic level. You know? And then Metropolis Zone's like, hey, fuck you, 3 acts. And it's the only one, because all the rest of the acts all the rest of the levels after it are single act. Unless you count, like, Wing Fortress and Sky Chase to be one long-ish zone, which I could see. Because it kind of is. Yay, vertical section. That just keeps scrolling forever if you let it. Lame level. Not a big fan. Hello, Tim. You been kissing your professors at college? This dream died along with my will to stay awake, but I have to finish it because I'm almost at the end of Sonic 2. And it would be weird not to at this point. My primary screen is delayed, so I'm using my secondary screen now to keep a backup of the game on to have undelayed gameplay. We should still stream EDF sometime. Probably should install it so we can do that. Oh, look at Sonic go. Oh. That's not where he was supposed to go. But it's where he went, damn it. Sonic does as he does, you know? There's no controlling that boy. It's a creature of chaos, let me tell you. Falling through every floor he can find. I hate when that happens, because now I gotta go over here and then go back, and always a pleasure. I have to go really far back, don't I? Well, we'll find out, I suppose. Irksome stuff. Very, very irksome. Vexing, even, one might say. Probably wouldn't, but they could. I have more rings than I thought I did. That Astron should stay dead, though, which is nice. Up? Yay, up. I would like Metropolis Zone if it wasn't super boring and didn't take like 80 years to beat. In other words, if it wasn't Metropolis Zone, I'd probably really like it, because I like the music and I like the aesthetic. I just hate the, everything else. I will say, they made the invincibility effect much more pleasant in Sonic 2. I'm not even sure what's different about it. I mean, it's obviously a different effect, but it just looks much more polished than the one in Sonic 1 does. I like it better than in Sonic 3 as well. Sonic 3's invincibility always looked off to me. It might actually just be identical, and I don't like it mixed with that sprite a ton. Because I'm not the biggest fan of the Sonic 3 sprites in general. I think the game's kind of weird looking. But it does look nice. It's just not as nice looking as 2 is, in my opinion. Oh, slicers are annoying. I kind of want to sleep. I might finish this level and then end the stream, because we played through almost all of it. And I'm very tired, because I've been up all day and I had class. I think that's what's going to happen. So I'm going to beat the level. Or die. Probably beat the level. And then I'm gonna call it a stream. We're not even gonna finish Metropolis because there's no real reason to. Like, all that's left after this is, I don't think I'll stay awake through Sky Chase, honestly. Like, everything other, if Sky Chase wasn't in the thing, it wouldn't even bother me. But Sky Chase is so incredibly boring. I cannot bring myself to finish Sonic 2 tonight because of Sky Chase. So, with that in mind, let's run straight up this nut thing. And then we'll call it a quitter. We'll take the easy pussy path because I'm boring. Up. Yay. Up again. Huzzah. Sonic's so exciting whenever it's boring. Eh, screw it. I'm gonna call it a stream. I'm really tired. That was fun, actually. Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 are two of my favorite games of all time. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, do whatever it is you do with channels you enjoy. Until next time, I'm LyingTuna, and I will see you then. Bye!